saying, like modern day, it is risky.
Why would you say it's worth it?
Well, the social issue of, I don't know, child rearing, it's better to be in a committed relationship together. That's why, if you divorce, it significantly impacts the children, psychologically, emotionally, all these things.
So why would they do that when most women will give kids without marriage?
That's also not good. That's the thing. Like you shouldn't be going around getting girls pregnant.
Yeah. What about you guys? What do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you think it makes sense for average men to get married in 2022?
I think everyone's entitled to do what they want.
Okay.
So I don't really have an opinion on that. But personally, if I was to ever consider that, I would prefer to get married. Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand where the men are coming from, though, when they say
that? Yeah, 100%. I get that.
It's riskier now for them.
I do understand that.
Okay. What about you?
For the average man, I mean, if you haven't got much to lose, then I don't see what the problem is, really. Because what is the woman going to take you for?
The kids.
What do you have?
Your kids?
Well, yeah, but it would be beneficial for them to have their dad in their life. So why would you take the kids away from their dad?
Because women are crazy.
Yeah,
Spiteful.
I know, but I mean, how much?
There's a
how
dude.
much of women are actually crazy though?
There's a lot.
Actually, honestly, let's ask the guys that date them. What % of women do you think are crazy?
No, honestly.
No, honestly, what % of women?
To the extent where they wouldn't allow their children to see their dad.
This is
okay. I would say about 15 to 20%. And the reason I say that is because I think the more attractive a woman is, the more likely society has fed her ego in certain ways, which promotes the craziness.
Yep.
But I think women who kind of understand how the world works in more reality as opposed to that hasn't happened to them, I think they're less crazy.
For me, from a woman's perspective, you can tell when a woman's crazy. Like there's a look in their eyes that the guy they're with, they can't tell. Like I've told my brother, I'm like, there's a look in her eyes like she is mental.
But here's the thing, you're looking from a woman's point of view. We pick up on more social cues than men do. So for example, if we see a girl giving us a dirty look at the bar, men don't see it. They're like, what are you talking about? She just looked at you for a second, but we're like, oh no, you don't even. You're ready to fight over one look, and men are like, this crazy.
she's taking off her earrings. Rolling up the
and so it's for us, it's easy to see.
Yeah.
But for men, they don't know. They're just like, oh, boobs.
Oh, okay. I'll probably maybe say like 30%.
30%.
Crazy.
What do you guys think?
I would have said about 15, 20 as well. I don't think that many. Just based on the women that I know in life, I genuinely. The women that I know, I don't think any woman would hold their kids away from the father. By the way, but yeah, I would just say 20% for the sake of arguments. I'll say 20.
I may be a bit controversial on this one. I would say 100% of
Tell us why.
It is a state of flux. They are crazy. Always. It's just they have different scenarios in which they can be crazier or less. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the crazy to hot chart or the ratio.
What?
Yes, man over there. And so women are always at a baseline of about 4 crazy anyway at all times. It's just you then have the hot crazy line in which you can then ratio the hot. You have the hot about 8 or 9 hot, but about maybe 10 crazy or 8 crazy. What you really want, the ideal scenario is a woman is about 8 hot and about maybe a 6 or 7 crazy.
A unicorn?
No, the unicorns are about a 4 hot or a 5 hot and a 9 crazy. A 9 hot and a 5 crazy. Yep. That's a unicorn. Anything below that, like it said in the hot crazy chart, there was a guy who had a woman who was like a 3 crazy but a 9 hot, and apparently that was probably a transsexual because that doesn't exist.
It was probably a dude.
That's a dude. It's not a man. It's not a woman because such women do not exist. No, I mean, on a serious level though, but women, I think, baseline are always, because of the natural hormones that are running through you. Every month, every 28 days or whatever it is, a woman can be insane. Sorry. You were saying,
What do you think, Ish?
I totally have to agree with what you just said. I couldn't have said it better. There's a flux where some women, you'll never get to see it. Most women, it pops out from time to time and you don't know where it's come from. But yeah, 100% of women.
So anywhere from 1 in 5 to 100% was what the men say.
Fair enough.
So it's like if you have to go into something where you have a 1 out of 5 women might take my kids, are you going to sign up? And I don't like this reality because I've always, like, my parents are married. I think it's better for kids, but like I can understand why men are walking away if the laws are literally paying you to leave.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Rue, right? So I understand how important marriage is to you. Would you still want marriage if it was the way it was 120 years ago? So you don't have the right to your own money, your own assets. You are literally the property of your husband who is chosen for you.
His chattel.
Right? And your job is to stay in the home, look after the house, look after the kids. Under those conditions and circumstances, would you still be in favor of marriage the way you are today?
If I had that mentality, sure, because I wouldn't know any different.
Today.
I'm saying the mentality and awareness you have today.
I'll just say maybe. I won't say yes.
Okay. So I think, you know how you're like, okay, under those conditions, because those conditions don't really favor you, you're a bit retracting from... Not the way it does today in comparison, right?
Yeah.
You kind of retract a little bit away from marriage. I think that's how a lot of men are looking at marriage. They're like, in the conditions that it is today, they're retracting. They're like, this isn't a good thing for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I think most young boys, they do grow up thinking they're going to get married. Like, I think most of us do think that because we're kind of said, this is what you do. And we're told of marrying the perfect girl, blah, blah, blah. But I think, as, you know, like I said, you know, a lot of men, reality hits a lot of men hard.
The reason why I say yes-ish is the way I want to live my life is like, I want a homestead, I want to live simply and all that stuff. Like,
what is a homestead?
Like when you just have a house and you have a bit of farmland, just not a lot of acreage or anything, and you can grow your own veg, be sustainable by live sustainably. Yeah, that sort of thing. So I'm not too far away from it. Obviously, the being chattel, that's obviously that's the way I'm ish. I wouldn't say yes today, but of course, like I'm kind of there. It's like very trad. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I just got a question. I don't understand. How is it that marriage equates to stability? I don't understand that, because you can have a man and you can be with him or even a woman and be with her for 50, 60 odd years and never get married. And that will be your rock, your secure, your provider. You lot can raise your family, have your homestead and do everything, but you're just not married. I don't understand why marriage seems to be a way to secure the fact that you're with your partner. It doesn't.
Because historically, it's worked better that way compared to other versions of other family versions out there.
Has historically the government been in marriage?
This is what I'm.
No.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. It's a government thing. The whole concept of marriage is government. It's nothing to do with.
I'll tell you why though. Like in general, because women fear being left after we lose our agency. That's why it's like like women. So that's why women hate when Gary V, his wife, when Gary V left for the younger model, basically, or maybe she left. I don't know what happened. But all the women on social media were so mad because she gave that man the most valuable thing she has, which is her looks and her best years. And then, so women are afraid that they leave and they get nothing out of it, basically. And they invest in a guy. But I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. I'm just saying that it is what it is.
I just want to put a note out. This concept of monogamous marriage, this is a relatively new thing in human history. Majority of, they estimate maybe human beings have been around for, like, say, 200,000 years. Majority of that was either polygamous or men were just single. There wasn't very few people. This concept of single one man, one woman thing. This came out of sort of religion, a lot of religion on organized societies, and it's only a few thousand years old at best. Maybe even 10 at best. It's not the norm.